Now, our next guest has worked alongside Saoirse Ronan, Kate Blanchett and Keira Knightley. No, it's not him, as well as starring on the small screen in shows such as Derry Girls and, most recently, Netflix's smash hit Bridgerton.
Yes, Bridgerton is quickly becoming one of the most talked about shows of 2021, clocking up, wait for this, a whopping 63 million streams in its first month.
So we had to find out more. You know him as Nasty Nigel Bearbrook. We know him as Jamie Beamish. But before we chat, let's have a look at Jamie in action.
Oh, Bearbrook.
Tiny little things, are they not?
The glasses, I suppose.
Then the matter is settled.
I'm not entirely sure the matter in which we discuss, my lord.
You've always amused me, Miss Bridgerton, ever since I was a schoolboy and you were.
All but 5?
He's a nasty piece of work, him, isn't he? Good morning, Jamie. Happy New Year.
Hi, Jamie.
Morning, guys. How's it going?
Good to see you. Good to see you. Listen, I tell you, before we go back and talk about how you got to where you are today, we've got to talk about this absolute smash that you're involved in. Very quickly, Jamie, how did it come to you? Was it through the normal audition process? How did you land the gig?
Yeah, the usual. Like, you know, these days you self-tape a lot, you know, and even before COVID and everything, you tape at home, and that's what happened to me. I got in a script, and it was Bridgerton, and I looked at the part, and I really didn't think I'd have any kind of hope of getting it at all, because like they actually have real posh English people in England. You know? So, I was going, what the hell? And they sent me all this, and it was a couple of the big scenes from episode 2, so there was a lot to learn and stuff. And I remember doing the tape and kind of thinking, God, I'm never going to get this, because literally I sent in the takes I got through when I didn't lose the lines. I sent it in, and then out of nowhere, I got an offer, straight offer as well, because normally you might get a recall, you might get, you know, off the tape, but it's a straight offer. I couldn't believe it. And when I turned up, it was a funny one, yeah.
And tell us, I'm very interested, Jamie, in the whole accent bit, because you did it in a certain accent, and then, was this the Derry Girls story, that you met the writer the night before Derry Girls? And you realised you had done it in your own accent and you didn't need to, or you did it in a different accent. Explain that story to me.
All right, well, the Derry Girls one was that when Lisa asked me to do Kieran in Derry Girls, I did the read-through there and in a Derry accent, because it's set in Derry, so I think fine. I go to Belfast to film, and the night before I film, I'm doing my first scene, I meet Lisa McGee in the Crown across from where I was staying to have a pint, and she says to me, you know, like, you know you're doing it in your own accent tomorrow. And I said, oh God, I don't. And she said, oh, right, yeah, no, we've decided to go Southern on him rather than Northern, because, you know, he's coming into the house and Tommy Tiernan's already Southern. And I went, oh, right, that's a big change. And she said, OK, do you want a pint? I said, no, I have to go and relearn all my lines, you know.
The joys of acting.
So what does that mean for the accent in Bridgerton then? I'm always fascinated, I'm totally fascinated by actors' lives in general, but the accent for Bridgerton, how did that come about, and how did you kind of train yourself for it?
Oh, well, I've kind of made a career of playing posh twits. I played Mr. Toad in Wind in the Willows at the Open Air Theatre in Regent's Park in London for 2 seasons. And so, you know, there was a bit of that to it as well. And funnily enough, the read-through for Bridgerton, I turned up and I met the director and producer for the first time. And of course, they'd only seen my tape, so I was doing, you know, kind of the posh English accent in that. And they said, hiya, we loved your tape, lovely to meet you. And I said, hell yeah, I'm delighted to be here, thanks for having me. And they looked at me and went, oh God, where are you from? And because they thought I was English from the tape. So
that's a great compliment.
Mouth, you know.
Once the black came out, you thought, oh, where is he
big
from?
Time.
So listen, let's go back then and talk about your career, because looking through your CV, because Anna said to me this morning, have you worked with Jamie? And I said, I know the name, and I looked through the CV and I was trying to think, God, no, we weren't that. But then I asked you during the break, have our paths crossed? And indeed they did.
They did indeed,
yeah. Go on, shame him, Jamie, shame him.
Oh, yeah. I auditioned for the Lions Key Panto. I think it was about 2003, 2004, for Beauty and the Beast that Simon was directing. And I was up for the Beast, and I think the Beast part might have been okay, but it was Prince Charming probably screwed me. So I didn't get it. So
he turned you down. Is that what you're telling us?
I feel like the man who turned down the Beatles, Jamie. Holy moly! But listen, your path, like you're a Waterford native. There's a big musical theatre tradition down there. You know, some amazing talent has come through there.
Yeah.
And I know that there's a big amateur musical theatre scene, and that's where I started. And it seems to be, you know, it's forged a lot of careers, and that's how you started, isn't it? Because you ended up in the likes of Aikino then at the Olympia, I think 15 years ago. Is that where your path started?
Oh, completely. Yeah, I started in amateur musicals here in the Theatre Royal, and God, this bedroom now where I am, like, you know, coming home here, I was dancing around here, practicing me moves for Joseph and his amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat and
we've
stuff
all
like
done that, brother.
you know, yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then, I went away then to London to train. I went to drama school in London to train in musical theatre, actually. And I had great dreams of being in Les Mis and being in Phantom and all that. And the first job I got was dancing up the back in Pirates of Penzance with Gary Wilmot and Sue Pollard, you know.
Wow.
It's from small acorns. And funny enough, I think you know, your career chooses you sometimes. And like I've done a few musicals. I did Aikino, and things like that. But it's not kind of, I've not really been in musicals a lot anymore at all. So it's just the way things go, isn't it?
And Jamie, when you filmed Bridgerton, where was it filmed and when was it filmed?
Oh, so we started in, I want to say, July 2019, and we filmed all around England, like some of those stunning locations you see in the programme. We were in these like big castles and castle grounds and great stately homes. I got to see places I'd never see in my life, and actually, you know, if I opened my mouth, I probably wouldn't be let into. But it was amazing, you know. It was stunning, and then we moved into studio for some of the interiors where there's a big studio kind of set, and we filmed that right up to, we literally wrapped, you know, end of February, start of March last year. So just before the lockdown, everything was in the can. It was just great luck. Really good luck, you know, to have everything done.
I'm presuming, given the smash that it's been, and we're looking at clips here there and you playing opposite, I suppose, the hero of the show, who's now being talked about as potentially the next James Bond. I mean, Jamie, let's be honest about it. I know where your mind is at the moment. You must be thinking 2021 and 2022 could be very interesting years. I mean, I'd imagine your agents are very excited.
Yeah, they're buzzing. I mean, it's a big shock, I'll be honest with you. I didn't think, you know, none of us really, you know, I've sat around tables doing read-throughs for things and go, oh, this is it. This is going to be the one. Yeah. And it's a flop, you know. I mean, no one has ever seen Pudsey the movie, let's be honest.
Yeah, like, in fairness, it's up there, isn't it?
You know, absolutely. So with this, you know, it's a big shock. You kind of go, wow. And actually, I never expected kind of how Nigel, my character, has gone down at all. He's the most hated man on the internet. It's glorious. Like, it's great crack, you know.
But you couldn't have imagined, Jamie, the success and the talkability around Bridgerton when you were actually filming it, could you?
No, not at all. I mean, 63 million households have watched it. That's what Netflix just released. And it's mind-blowing. It's absolutely mind-blowing.
Apparently 31 million of them are from Waterford.
Yeah.
God, that's a big boom in people in Waterford, I tell you that for nothing.
Well, listen,
people must have been busy during the pandemic.
I can imagine, Jamie, that you're all buzzing from it. And look, deservedly so. I know that you've done the long road, you've done the hard road, you've worked your way through it. You're in a smash hits show. Enjoy it, and I hope it leads to much, much more for you, my friends. Listen, you take care, and thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks very much.
Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Jamie.
Cheers. Thanks for having me on, guys. See ya.
Take care.
Well, there you go. That's a prime example of a guy playing a baddie who's an absolute gent.
Oh, lovely guy, isn't he?
What a gent.
How do you feel about turning him down now?
I'm going to lie down in the corner. A quick
you
reminder
big Egypt, you.
that Bridgerton is now available to binge on Netflix.
We need to binge it, don't we?
Absolutely.
It's on my list now. Up next, leisure wear for life during lockdown. Fashion is coming up next.